What's going on, guys? We just finished playing the Battlefield 2042 beta. Right now I am joined with Javelin or Kevin
Yo.
and Dobie / Dominic.
What's up?
And we got a bunch of history with Battlefield, mainly with Battlefield 3, a good chunk of 4. No one wants to talk about Hardline. We
Look, I don't know what you're talking about. I had a great time in the beta.
the Black Sheep. We all touch a bit of Battlefield 1. Not a lot, a little. Battlefield 5, Kevin doesn't want to touch it at all.
Not with a 10-foot pole.
I played that beta and it just didn't feel good.
And
It just didn't feel right.
I only played it when it was free on a weekend for 5 hours and then uninstalled because it was a mess. But Battlefield 2042, honestly, it felt really good. Like, it really felt like the older game. Like, back with Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, like, I really like we are back to modern, but not, like, too futuristic either. Kind of, like, a little in between. But they've added a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of good stuff. Like, for me, I really, really fucking enjoyed the, the attachment little loadout they added.
Yeah, I think that was a great idea.
Oh yeah, being able to change your attachments while on the battlefield is pretty dope.
It's a huge game changer there because you can go from close to long range depending. Hopefully
Yeah.
they do add you can customize that little loadout on your own. But it's balanced too, in my opinion. Like, I really think so.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it takes a second for you to actually change that while fighting somebody. So while you're updating your loadout, you could get gunned down pretty quickly. So it's not too overpowered.
Yeah, it's mostly gotta be like a think and do thing. I do like the fact that like some of the guns like it also comes with like how the changes to the classes are too. That some guns have different rounds because you can also see the stats, but there was one in particular a lot of them have the LMG, I think the assault rifle and the DMR and the revolver had were the anti-material rounds that can help out take out vehicles.
Yeah, from the aircrafts to tanks and all that. I like that too. Definitely.
Like it's not ridiculous, which is a good thing because like if an LMG can take out a heli,
yeah, that I mean, yeah, that would be a little ridiculous. But the helis are quite powerful in this one. I will say I do appreciate the fact that at one certain point it's a lot easier for the helis to avoid the like a lot of missiles, but at the same time it was a little rough because the Stingers were a little underwhelming.
Oh, the Stingers are not
nursed hardcore. Like
they.
It's more like heat-seeking missiles in general are way weaker. The lock-ons are I don't know, the magnetism of them is way weaker to where like if you're just able to juke them, like if you're skilled enough in the air, which apparently doesn't take people very much longer, probably for a mouse and keyboard. Console controllers are having a harder time with that, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, if you know what you're doing in the air, you can dodge almost any missile as long as you know it's coming and it doesn't catch you off guard. So Stingers and heat-seeking missiles are kind of useless. If your regular main cannons on aircraft are just better in general.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And
it feels weird. And it feels weird too because like it could just have been the beta, but even then looking at the missiles, like they were wonky. They look like they were just having a hard time even trying to touch the target too.
Dude, are you
like
kidding me?
They would literally circle around the helicopter like, what is that missile? And it could just be a visual thing from the game perspective, but like you can't tell unless of course you get the hit marker on.
Yep. And
that was just a regular missile you can have with a gadget.
That's true. The good thing is though, with the vehicles, definitely the Amazon 4-second express over here delivery, like
That was great.
like that shit, I won't lie, when it works, it's nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
I will
But it's
never
buggy as hell.
I will never forget when I first jumped in, and like I kind of knew, I remember it, like I remember that was a setting, but I didn't know how fast it would be. And like Kevin over here is like, oh, by the way, I just brought in a vehicle. I'm like, what, where? All of a sudden, like 2 seconds later, just drops from the sky. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Got that 2-second delivery, man. Pay extra.
You know, I thought it was insane. I thought for a second, like, with like, cause you can drop in the ranger, the walking robot dog. I thought you can just go in first person view on that thing, but I like no,
It-
it's a fully just functional,
Uh,
friendly thing. It's stupid though, but
I thought it functioned like an EOD bot, like we had in
yeah, I
3
thought so
before.
too. I thought it was just an engineer
It's
thing.
what it literally does is essentially, if you have it summoned with you, if you start firing at someone, the robot dog will essentially recognize who you're firing, and it will start firing at that person individually.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a little much to have just an AI companion like that. I feel like that's
It's
a
not
little
as
busted.
like okay, well, let's put it this way. The thing is strong as hell. Like, and that's probably because we're not using the AP, we're not using the anti-material rounds, the AP rounds, compared to something like, because like it doesn't seem like it's a powerful fighter. Like I've died to
No, it
one
definitely
That thing
I've
was
died
it
to
hits
one
sniping
up
me.
hard.
front.
It hits hard, dude.
that thing was sniping me.
It also
Yeah,
has
no.
ridiculous range.
Yeah, that thing has
It's
ridiculous range.
hyper-aggressive.
The good thing is, if you kill the person, the dog is still there. The dog is still there for a moment, but it's not hostile unless you get near it, and then it'll start turning at you. Because once I killed the person, the dog was just wandering around for me. But then obviously once I approached it, then it
Yeah.
started attacking me. But like it has like, it's kind of like stay away from it or just kill it, but it doesn't function well once you kill the person that summoned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dog needs to disappear like the sentry unit, because
The
it's
sentry is.
too good. And question for you, the AP rounds, like, do they do less damage against people?
I
They do.
think I don't.
Okay,
Yeah.
just
So
making
yeah.
sure. Like, what's the point of using the other rounds if
Yeah, basic
I was
rounds.
shooting. The last day of it, like the last day of Battlefield, I had my LMG with the AP bullets. I was like just shooting this guy, getting crazy hit markers, but he was not dying. And I believe dude, I spent like 40 shots at him with the AP bullets on this guy, and I'm like, dude, this guy's not fucking dead. And I'm like, oh, it's AP. And then when I switched over to the regular, I killed him in like maybe like 10, 15 shots with the LMG. Like
good.
the damage between vehicles and a person, the bullets AP, it does make a difference, which is convenient.
Okay, good. I will say that speaking of gadgets, like maybe I'm crazy. I didn't really use it all that much, but seeing other people use it, I feel like the sentry unit just isn't that good.
If we're going into specialists, like especially like I feel like the sentry turret for the specialist, what's his name is Boris. He's just like
The fortified guy, right?
yeah, the fortified and the fortified defense. He just like okay, so like I'd rather have the ranger than the sentry unit, which is ridiculous because the ranger can literally hit anything from like outside of its maximum range. Like I've seen people put rangers on top of the tower, and that thing will shoot at any enemy it can find.
Yeah, like I will say there was a couple of times that someone placed the sentry in good spot. Like I think the last day when I was at Kevin, I was doing a flank on the tunnels, getting behind the enemy. I killed majority of them, but someone put a sentry facing their backs, so it actually managed to shoot me and kill me. But I was already low on health. But I was like, okay, that's a interesting strategy. I think the sentry's mainly supposed to do chip damage, a lot of it, so that if you and the sentry together, you're getting a little bit of help. But I do agree that the sentry, most of the time, people didn't really even use it.
Yeah. It's mostly
Yeah.
just it's mostly seems to just be good at spotting enemies when they're coming in, even then. like by the time they're spotted, you're probably almost dead from just trying to notice that.
I would say the two best classes, I'm sorry, not classes, specialists were the recon and the other guy, the assault guy.
The grappler.
Definitely, yeah.
Because the recon with its drone and its passive. Like Kevin, I remember
that recon's passive is honestly the best passive in the game, at least in the beta by far. Having a free sensor that just ticks around you the entire time, that's amazing for snipers, so it makes it hard for people to sneak up on you. But in general, if you're just scouting around, you could find the enemy without them even shooting and just, alert your whole team to them. Like, it's really good. All the other passives on the specialists just don't even compare, honestly. Like,
the thing is though, it's like, and it's probably just, it seems like it's only just Casper maybe, but that could just be other specialists as well that they have this the sensor.
No, the sensor's only Casper. It's only Casper.
It's only Casper.
Oh, it's only Casper. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like so I don't know. I think this is only an assault thing now that I realize because it never happened. But assault has two things. Well, it has the gadget. I think its passive though is when you kill someone, they drop like tiny little ammo things. Because when I was playing as other classes, when I was playing as like recon or the medic, when I killed people, I never saw them drop little ammo things. So I was like, fuck. But if you play as him, whenever you get a kill, you can run up and there's a little ammo thing you can pick up for yourself.
That's not specifically exclusive to the assault, which is McKay. Like his two abilities is the grappling hook and then something called nimble allows player to move quickly while aiming down sights, further enhancing your speed related advantages.
Entry up. Wait.
So that's just in general. People do drop a little bit of ammo, but I know there is an ability related to those drops. Like for example, Irish, the specialist that we're going to get in the full game, actually has an ability, veteran, that provides armor with additional bonuses from downed enemies. He's the only one that, to my knowledge, that has a specific, drops.
Okay.
Yeah.
The grapple is fantastic.
Oh yeah, the grapple is so fucking useful. Like really great. McKay is amazing. We were talking about Casper. His passive is just so fucking good. Boris and Falk just Boris is all right. The sentry gun is good for trying to watch your back, and it's also good for just kind of a little bit extra damage. It is not good on its own, in my opinion, but it's like you said, it's supposed to be used in conjunction with yourself. So if you get used to it and really figure out how to place it in optimal positions, I think the sentry will be better with time. People will use it more.
Mm-hmm.
Falk is just kind of garbo in my opinion. Like Falk's abilities.
Yeah, it literally like we're honestly worst kind of medic they've created. Like
okay, so that was her. So that was her trait.
Like
her trait
Falk
is she can bring back everyone to full health.
Yeah, but it really doesn't matter because there were several times where Kevin over here revived me and literally no joke, as soon as I revived, instant died. And I'm like, what? Like what's the difference between reviving with little health and full health?
And that could just be the fact with no armor too.
No.
Also, the time to kill is a lot faster in this game. So you getting revived, like again for specificity for those who don't know, like with Falk, her passive is if she revives an ally, they revive at full health. Normally, if you get revived by somebody, it's like 50 health, 25% health. It's like something like that. I think it's
50 because I have a good chunk when I get revived by randoms.
And that's only the fact that if you're any other class, you can't pick, and that so far seems to be just Falk that she might be able to do this, but we'll have to see with other medic specialists if they can revive everyone else. I think it should just be a common thing as a class specific thing that they can revive everyone. It's a medic. Come on.
I know I've been able to revive everyone, but I've mainly been playing
Falk. That's the thing. That's a good thing that's the one small good thing I like about the medic, at least. But
it's not good enough.
It's not because the time to kill is still so high that there's no sometimes it's not even worth picking some other people up when one shot from someone else is gonna kill you anyways.
Like if they just as a gameplay decision decided that you couldn't revive teammates who weren't in your squad and just made that uniform against all specialists, I wouldn't care because sure it's kind of nice to just get extra revives here and there, but at the end of the day, if somebody you can't communicate with, you reviving them probably isn't gonna help you very much in a firefight. It really isn't. It's
And
helpful just to have an extra gun around, sure, but it's not gonna always make or break an interaction.
And the thing is, with the gun that you get, the healing one, when I was playing as a medic, I couldn't, it wasn't like really telling me who was on low health or who was low so I can do it. So how the hell am I like supposed to know? Besides my teammates, when I'm communicating with you guys, letting you know, like, oh guys, I'm low on health and you were able to heal me, but like anyone else in the battlefield, like you, sometimes the things wouldn't pop up letting me know how much this person's health is, which I'm like, damn, a medic should know this, or at least the class of the medic should know that, right?
Yeah, at the same time, like I've seen the health meters, but yeah, it's not exactly super clear to read.
Yeah,
At the same time, the kind of hit area of your syringe is really fine. Where if you're not directly on them when you shoot that, you will miss and waste your shots. So it's
you have
kind
to
of
be up
bad
there
in a
bum bum for
panicky
it.
yeah, you're when you're fumbling trying to heal your teammate. So it's not worth using. The only good thing is honestly using it on yourself, but also like it's kind of defeats the purpose of being a medic. At the same time, it doesn't really help all that much. The healing you get from shooting yourself isn't so much more better than you just waiting to heal naturally. So medics passives are just all garbo. They need something better than that. In my opinion, they need to buff the syringe and make it so that that pistol can revive down to down to allies. That would be a huge buff to it, and I think it's not so huge that it's overpowered.
Yep,
Yeah.
no, it fully
I
agree, especially since you're
the
the medic, since
the
you like to play
the
medic.
thing is though, what I find was pointless about the serrated pistol that it can damage enemies, but it's so
Like baby
No one's
damage.
using that to damage enemies, though.
well,
It's
who?
usually
Yeah,
like
like
a
who's gonna
quick
do it to damage
response.
enemies? Like,
Guys,
If
he's
you're
one
shooting a
percent.
teammate,
Get the syringe gun.
right? Like it's just not good. And honestly, like what you can do to balance it out is lower the mag capacity of this syringe gun because it's got like I think 6 shots in the mag normally. Drop that
yeah,
down to 3 or 2 or something like that, and make it so if I can revive like 2 or 3 people from a distance, and then take a few seconds to reload it, that's pretty freaking good, and it's not broken to
yeah.
do that. Like even if it's a one shot, you're like one shot, then I got to reload to revive. That's still pretty amazing even if it's you can't do it super fast. And at the same time, every class has access to a med pack now. So the healing from the syringe, I haven't really compared the healing between the two, but you
It's
don't need the syringe. Every character has a med pack. Like it doesn't matter. Falk, can use basically anything, but it's not as good as any other classes. It really isn't.
I mean, yeah. I
well,
mean,
I will.
at the end of the
Yeah,
day, really, at the end of the day, it's like, the only real thing the one real thing she can do that no other person can. Which, by the way, we didn't even see much in the beta. Was so people are gonna also not do it in the actual game. Is the fact of like, healing. There's a lot of people that were medics
yeah.
that were next to us, and they just fucking left me to die, and I'm like, are you kidding me? You're the medic.
Yeah,
But I
it's
mean that's
crazy.
but I mean even then that was class that was almost classic
No,
Battlefield
but
even then.
that's my point though. Like, what you call it? Like before you, if you saw a bunch of people running around, but like you like if you didn't see there was a medic, at least you would be like, fuck, I just died.
Yeah, it just needs work hella bad. So
Another thing too about the specialist that where is also been that we could all agree is the problem is too with specialists like there needs to be a way to tell distinctly between friendly and enemy. You
yeah,
can't
also the models are just like again, yeah, comparing.
you can't have your friend Jimmy over here looking like looking like Boris and then fucking two-time Tommy over there over at the enemy team looking like the same boys, and then all of a sudden you're getting attacked by two Tommy and Jimmy's right in front of you. Like you're looking at him, your enemy, and then he just kills you. And you're like, wait, I thought that was my friend, because you didn't get you didn't get the red highlight of your enemy, you didn't get the red marker saying like, oh, that was an enemy in front of them too quickly.
So one thing that we had like in Battlefield 3 and 4 was we had the same kind of issue where each class only had their same models, and you could change maybe their camo on them slightly. But the issue was because we were only playing factions wise, even though we had the same four models for all the classes, if you were fighting Russians versus Americans, they had distinct models for the Russian characters versus the American ones. So even if you were an assault American versus an assault Russian, you could tell visually who's an enemy and who's a friendly. But in this game, if you've got a team of Falks, a whole squad of Falks versus an enemy squad full of Falks, you're not going to be able to tell who's friendly and who's not unless you see some kind of red dot or red outline, which is ridiculous. And they're going to have cosmetics. Like there's a pre-order bonus
there
for
are going
Irish
to be
that's the
skins.
cosmetics for Irish there. But his cosmetic doesn't change his face. It's only his clothes, and that's still not going to tell you what faction team he's on, which if I'm remembering correctly, I believe one of you guys told me that like there are no real like Americans
are
versus
no-
Russians or anything like that. It's just
No,
like
there's no huge government power in this.
yeah, there's
one.
no war, there's no specific war. There's a mixture of different people
There's
in
only
all the
yeah.
countries, which is a cool concept story-wise. It's really great. But in terms of a multiplayer shooter game, how the hell am I supposed to tell like, who's friendly or who's not without specific visual indicators like, oh, this faction's team always wears gas masks, or this faction team's, wears specific armor that visually tells me, okay, they're on this
Yeah.
team, they're friendly with me, or they're enemies. So that's another reason why I don't like specialists, is that they're gonna muck up the visuals of the game to where I can't tell, and they're gonna sell cosmetics off of that to where you'll have all sorts of camos and little outfits, but that's still not gonna change visually. How do I tell what faction this character is upon? A part of.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But that does bring me going back to kind of like away from the actual infantry units, the armor, and going more with the gadgets. The fact that we already talked about the fact that heat-seeking missiles are kind of crazy in this game. They're really weak. But I believe that some heat-seeking missiles can actually be shot without locking them down and just be used as regular, straight flying missiles on
I
the
don't
scout
think there
helicopter.
was, but I will say that the rocket launcher, like the base rocket launcher you can just use, is ridiculously good.
I mean,
It's always
seen
been a one-shot
so-
kill.
no,
So
I've seen so many good trick shots in this game, so obviously there's obviously something I'm not seeing with the base rocket launcher. Everyone keeps getting good shots with.
I mean, for the choppers, I believe using the rocket launcher. I believe using the rocket launcher on actual like helicopters, if you actually get hit, it does insane amount of damage to the choppers. For the ground vehicles, it takes about four shots essentially to kill them, but it's weird that they don't give you enough to really blow up a vehicle. Like I think in Battlefield 3, if you can land all your shots, you were essentially able to destroy a tank or any of that stuff. But in this game, I remember putting 3 rockets into a tank, and that's all I have, and it's still alive and it's running away. And the thing is, since the repairs, like the vehicles can self-repair now, like pretty fast as long as you're not in combat. So that's one of the things I was gonna bring up. The repair torch is really nice. It's I feel has a less purpose now because one, the reach it's not like it was before where you were able to hold that shit as long as you want to repair it. So they nerfed it for a good reason, but if I get my tank out of battle or my helicopter out of battle fast enough and like no one really like pays attention to me, my vehicles can self-repair back to normal.
yeah, and then also something that's speaking of like destroying vehicles. So a gadget that's really really ridiculous in this game are grenades. Grenades don't have indicators anymore, showing you
which
where they
is-
are.
I don't like that.
I was about to say that like now we could start talking about like the cons.
I critique it because I love it. I want.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong, but
we'll get to that point. Sorry, didn't mean to say that.
Yeah, like just
grenades.
going back to it. Yeah, the grenades here. Grenades are ridiculous. They don't have indicators anymore. So, like in old games, you would have just a red, little blip on your screen saying, "Hey, there's a grenade near you. Let's get the hell out of here." That's not there. So, an enemy can just chuck a grenade. You'll never know it's there, and
unless
you'll
you
just
see
blow up and die.
unless you see, which is
Then throw it.
Yeah, or you see a small little white line, which, by the way, you're in a
Smoke.
fucking battle, so half the time you're not really paying attention to that little strip of white. So, yeah, grenades are like ridiculous. I can't tell you how
Yeah.
many times we died from it. Because it's like, what the fuck did I die from? Grenade? When did
Yeah.
someone throw a grenade?
Yeah.
And it's quite
Yeah,
interesting too that
debatable.
grenades are insta kills.
Or my
It's always been
favorite,
insta-kills.
or my favorite thing about a grenade. Hey guys, I just rocket a tank 3 times. It's still alive. I got you, fam. Fucking across the map. Grenade throw kills a tank.
Enemy tank.
I hit him once. Hit him twice. You should be dead. With
With a frag.
I mean, at this point, might as well, right?
Do a frag.
I had.
I got it with the frag! With the frag grenade! Busted in this game! Absolutely busted! Yeah, I've been playing the medic class, and anytime I've engaged a tank, like almost anytime I've engaged a tank, I'll be like, you know, I have 2 grenades and ammo packs. Fuck it. Throw 2 grenades, and I downed tanks. People have been
What?
fighting them with rock. Yeah, I
Yeah.
downed 3 tanks, got 3 double kills 3 times by just throwing a grenade at a tank.
And the funny part is, I think the second time he did it, I shot 3 rockets at it, and I'm like, all right, the tank's at like 40%. Kevin, I'm running out of rockets. Literally, Kevin's like, I got this. Fucking next thing I know, I see the tank blow up. I get 3 assists. Kevin got the kill. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I shot 3 rockets.
Busted.
I shot 3 fucking rockets, and I couldn't kill the damn thing. But then Kevin over here with this fucking frag grenade just destroys it.
Grenades should not be able to cut through armor like that. They should really be for
Like, if it
infantry,
does-
in my opinion.
Like, if it does damage to it,
Like 10% maybe or something.
but that should did over 30 to 40% of the tank thing, because I shot it 3 times, and I think I saw it at like 30 to 25%, and then you just fucking kill it, and I'm like,
dude.
Why is
The
the-
first time it happened, I spawned in a tank v tank fight. I was in the gunner seat, and I'm like, "Oh no, we're losing!" I jumped out of the tank, and I'm standing down the barrel of an enemy tank. I'm like, "I'm in danger," and I panicked, just chucked through grenades, and that shit blew up. And I'm like, "Well, that went better than expected." And I walked away. Like,
Oh no.
And one of the things about the vehicles, which I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of this, is so when you spawn into the game, when you first spawn in the game, it lets you choose like 2 armor vehicles, 2 attack choppers, and 2 transport vehicles, or like 3. But the thing is, there's no limit to which one you pick. So essentially, you could take 3 little birds, 2 attack choppers, and 2 tanks, or you can mix match. But what people like to do often is say, fuck it, do whatever they want. So when you really need, let's say, an AA armor tank, but there's 2 tanks spawned in because your teammates want only tanks, everyone has sky superiority, and it's kind of annoying. I don't like the fact that they have that option. I liked it better in Battlefield 4 and 3 when they put out the vehicles and had it preset. There is 2 tanks, there is 2 this, there is 3 jets, there is like, I like the preset.
Oh no, yeah. Like everyone has agreed. Like everyone's missed like the vehicle depot.
Because
to
it
just have,
kept
like,
it balanced.
It kept it balanced. Yeah. Like granted though, we didn't have like we could choose what vehicles we wanted, but I mean like it's like I'd rather just have like this map has this specific vehicles here, and then you can spawn in any other like to take up what limited space. Like take up a limited space. Like if a vehicle blows up, fucking Amazon Prime a new vehicle.
Yeah, like it's just stupid. I literally hated where just straight up like there's like all these really good fucking people with little birds. No one's using AA missiles because the AA missiles are garbage. And at least the missiles on the AA tank is really good, but only because you have unlimited ammo. So, eventually the bird won't be able to dodge all of it. But even then, I couldn't spawn one because everyone kept spawning in a fucking tank. So we were
Yeah.
getting decimated by really good chopper people.
And they did change the speaking of aircraft, like they did besides changing how missiles work for air to air and surface to air missiles. Some I believe the Little Bird does now have their heat seeking missiles. I believe now double as air to surface missiles. So Little Birds are just bombarding the infantry with missiles that they didn't have before. I feel like they should go back to the old way where it was only lock on, only you can't just shoot them free because in my opinion, the Little Bird's machine guns are more than adequate enough to take out infantry. The machine guns are just fine. We don't need a missiles because the splash damage is ridiculous on that. The attack chopper has the same thing, which it always had that, so I'm kind of okay with that.
The attack chopper is fine because it makes sense. It's a two-person thing. The driver has the heat seekers and missiles, while the gunner has just the actual machine gun. It makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with that. And they did. I mean, this again probably doesn't really affect PC players, but for console players, I haven't played since Battlefield like 3 or 4 seriously. So getting into the helicopters in this game is really jarring. They really changed the
vehicle driving
height controls, the pitch, and the controls on the game. And I tried to see if I could adjust it to default controls back in the old days, but don't exist. So man, these things are really weird. And they've also adjusted the weight and momentum of choppers in the game, I think, to make it easier to control. But woof, that is jarring. But again,
both vehicles are like that. To be honest, like the what you got, the actual Jeep, like literally can spin out of control, and like turning is a little rough. The tank is a tank, so I mean, there's not like that's fine. But but it took a real while to get used to flying again. Like the controls are a little bit off, but like I finally got better at it, but not as good as like PCs.
Exactly, and those are just nitpicks for me because I'm sure like once the game actually comes out, I'll probably get into like a private lobby and practice with them, and we'll get good, as you gamers like to say. But it's things that can get better. Again, a lot of these complaints are probably beta exclusive, like the fact that I can't see the full map even by hitting the start button is really stupid. Yeah, there's no map button. I'm assuming that is just a beta thing, and when the full game comes out, maps will be an actual option because these maps are getting bigger and bigger, and these things are too damn big for me to just know where everything is by just licking my finger and sticking it into the air. Oh, I think A is over here. Like no, like
I mean, remember what Keanu said the other day? It's like, hey, on what map are we on now? We're on the same map. What?
Yeah, like these maps are so huge, which is cool. It's really awesome that they're huge. But please give us a big map, an actual map to see where the hell we're going. I find it interesting that the maps are so big that we have multiple objectives for the same sector. It's interesting.
I think it's a nice balance. It does help out. Like it can help out like in stomping. So I think having 2 bases with sectors, they will help out with stomping.
Or how about all those fun visual glitches?
Oh, those are fun.
I'm not even gonna complain about those right now because
but I mean,
I'm talking about
again.
the beta.
No. I gotta talk about it because I can't fucking tell you how many goddamn time I see some player and I'm like, oh dude, I got this, and then I snipe them or I kill them or like I think I'm killing them. I'm like, why am I not getting hit markers? Why am I not? And all of a sudden they vanish. I'm like, was I shooting someone that died already? And then I get shot in the back because I gave away my fucking position.
I'm gonna be honest, that exact glitch has been there for the betas of like 3 and 4, so I'm just not gonna complain about it because it's just a beta glitch.
I wasn't there for any of them, so I didn't know, but that triggered me so many times because I see someone popping their head out and I'm like shooting. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not getting any hit markers. And then I give my position away.
Yeah, it's all right, dude. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be better, hopefully.
The game has been pushed to November, so there's a hope.
Yeah, there's a hope. I mean, honestly, we have been kind of, I don't want to say ripping on the game for a little while, but I will say just jumping in there playing the game, it really made me happy because it
Yeah.
really is a core Battlefield game. And obviously, I haven't played every Battlefield game, but as terms of the modern games, 3, 4, it's back to form on that and back to really what made those games successful, especially 3. I just love how we'll just be driving, a combat jeep down the road, and all of a sudden a helicopter explodes and crash lands right in front of
Yeah.
us. Like
The
those
weather
kind of
storm
things.
thing when we finally got it
Oh yeah, that was the
was
one thing that we didn't talk
uh
about, the event
yeah,
things.
no, that's a good thing. The weather storm
I enjoyed
is
it.
real.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it because it's like, one, it's a shits and giggle thing and it's fun to like fuck with it, but it the actual tornado. I don't know if they're gonna add other stuff, but the actual tornado can fuck people up, can fuck helicopters at certain
Yep.
objectives, but like it can also be used as a redeploy for a lot of ground units because all you gotta do is jump into it, open your parachute, you go up to the highest point, and you can just redeploy or like sneak up on another base in a different way, which is like very convenient. Like
Yep.
I can't tell you how many times I used it like that and it worked.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
also, drive a fucking car into it and die, but
Yeah.
Also, I gotta pour one out, man, for those dog tags because the assassinations from the older games
Fascinating.
are just
I know
not there anymore.
they don't feel good.
They don't feel
Like
like when I back in 3 and 4, if somebody took my dog tags, it felt personal. They looked you dead in your soul, stabbed you in the chest, and pulled it off you. But in this game, I just don't feel anything. Like, oh, I got assassinated.
and,
Oh,
and,
oh well.
overall in this, like, the assassination in Battlefield 3 and 4 was just simple and clean. It just, you
no,
got your knife, took
this
the
was all
tags.
battlefields. This is all
Yeah.
battlefields.
Well, that's what I mean. Like they made it first person. You put the knife, take the tag, and you kept going. And it gave you the oh, you took this guy's tag. They can't, like, they're gonna sell assassinations, but the assassination animations are probably gonna be very short, just so they
Yeah,
can,
that's fine.
just so people can, like, real quick see it, grab their tags, and go.
I don't know. I just like I feel like I find especially like with Battlefield 4 when they gave you like different knives to use.
Well, Battlefield
Oh,
3 had that too.
Yeah, the Battlefield 3
Yeah,
had like
only
several.
for like it had
A couple.
They had a couple. Like, I want, no, they had at least like,
They,
I
they,
think,
they,
like,
they had the ABC or ACB or whatever the premium
and then
knife,
they
that
had
yellow one.
and then they had the box cutter.
Yeah, the box cutter. I like that fact that you had like this or the box cutter. I feel like they might have had one or two more, but
No,
I
I
feel
think
like-
they only had two.
no,
Like,
I'm pretty sure
four-
they had like 3 or 4.
But four went all out with its knives. 4 was like, oh, you want a chopping knife? Sure, here's one. You want a bipod
That's right.
knife because you saw a Battlefield friend? Sure, have one.
oh, is that a thing actually? That's
Yeah,
fine.
That
they
is a
put a
thing in
knife for the
4.
bipod.
Beautiful. I'm so glad.
You
they
know,
did that.
Battlefield Friends was really that popular
Nice,
back
dude.
then. Shit!
Nice.
So,
But oh boy, he's dead. Yep.
No,
they're
I'm
Know
here.
about him.
I'm here. My computer
Anyway,
fell.
there's a lot. I'm really glad though that it feels like a Battlefield game. It feels like what I wanted Battlefield to return to. So I'm definitely going to be playing this. I'm going to try to put as many hours as I can into this. I do
Okay,
hope
check
that
it.
our little complaints here and there and the big complaints that that we're having do get addressed when the game does actually come out. Hopefully the delay was to address this, and we're just getting what the game would have been might have had they not delayed
Yeah.
it. So we've
Yeah.
got to see.
I'm gonna be in that point also where, like, even with all the complaints, even with all the stuff like we mentioned here and there, like, overall for me though, while right now this was a beta, we don't even know what version of the beta it was. It could probably be an earlier build too, but
Yeah.
honestly, jumping into this Battlefield, I fucking loved it. It got me hooked. Like,
Yeah.
straight up, that's something that Battlefield 1, Hardline, and even 5 couldn't do. But this one, since it felt like the old days, I wanted to keep playing. Like, with all visual glitches, with all the fucking problems, with even the stupid teammates we had on many occasions, it was so fucking fun to be back into the feeling of like the old Battlefield. And I really hope with this delay, I really do hope that they can address some of these problems. So when the game really does come out in next month, it's just like it doesn't have as many problems. I'm not gonna say it probably won't have problems at launch, but I hope it's not a lot of problems for me.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
If
Only time will tell.
if I had to say if I had to say so, yeah, I'm definitely truly I'm excited because like, you know, coming from the fact that I've tried to play all of the newer ones like 1, 5, and I've played Hardline a bit thanks to sharing. I mean, I played Hardline for a while. Like Hardline was fun. It had its moments. It knew it was, you know, it was its stupid moments, but yeah. But I mean, like even then, I think I had more fun playing 3 and 4 than I did in the others.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
And 2042, it feels like those fun times.
Yeah, it does.
Like 3 was amazing. 4 was just more like almost like a DLC expansion to 3, in my opinion. It was just like, yeah, we're gonna just tune it up a little bit, make some changes here and there, and re-release it again. Not complaining about 4 though. 4 is a good game in its own right. But those are definitely.
I mean, four lasted a really long time, and it still does.
People still play 4, yeah.
Yeah,
people
people
still play 4.
Even when I was streaming, people were there was a couple people that mentioned that they're gonna whether reinstall 4 or they're gonna be playing 4 while waiting for Battlefield 2042, and that's saying something. That is actually saying, hey guys, we have Hardline. Didn't want to touch that. We got 1. We got 5. Like they're going back to 4. This shit was on the Xbox. This was on the Xbox 360 and Xbox One. They like this is how much people are craving the older Battlefields, that they're going back that far because it's still alive and it's still popular and it's great. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this. That's gonna be for the reviews. We criticized it a lot. It is a beta though. It has a lot of issues, but overall, like honestly, we're stoked for it, and we are gonna be waiting to play the shit out of this game, and hopefully they fix certain issues. I know not all of them will be it, but there are some hopefully that do get fixed. Yeah.
All I just want is just better enemy highlights.
He wants better.
Models.
Dom
I just
over
want to
here
be
wants
able
better
to tell
highlights.
between enemies. I just want to be able to tell what enemies I'm fighting. Like, if you're gonna have a skin system, then fucking cut out camo colors and just put in colors whatever side they're on. I don't fucking care.
Better highlights for Dom. Kevin, what's the one major thing you want?
Buff Falk, buff Medic.
There you go. All right, buff the medic. For me, for the love of goddamn Christ, the freaking AA missile, because I felt like for me a bunch of time in those matches I was one of the few people using it against the enemy, and I never hit anything. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this review, and yeah, we will see you guys when it comes out.